Hey everyone, so I've got a new tutorial for you. We are going to be making my ring here. So pretty red and silver ring with some bicones and some seed beads and an 8mm bead. So here's what you're going to need. So you need an 8mm bead. I happen to be using a fire polish. You can use any bead you want. So if it's a round bead, a pearl, another bicone even, they all work great. 11s, this is galvanized silver. Miyuki galvanized silver are my 11s. These are 8s over here, and the color is silver lined milky white. And these are my 4mm bicones, and again, the shape of the bead doesn't matter, so you can use fire polish, rounds, if you don't want to use bicones or don't have bicones. This is light siam AB. And I will have all of the colors and bead counts and numbers in the description box below. Please check that. I always keep the information there. Also, thread. I'm using 6-pound wire line. Oops, my 6 is covered, but that's 6-pound there. It is the crystal. And the length is going to depend on your ring band size, so I used a herringbone stitch to do the ring band, so that makes it a nice, strong ring band, but it's also nice and thin, because I don't like them too thick. They kind of get in the way in my finger. But this is what the ring looks like on the inside. It's also pretty there. And the top. Let's get started. Okay, so to start your ring, what you're going to do first is put a stop bead at the end of your thread. And then you're going to pick up an 8, an 8/0 and an 8mm bead. Bring those down to the bottom. Pick up another 8/0 and go back through our 8mm. Just like that. And this bead should sit right at the top of the 8mm. Then go back into the 8/0 that is here. And now go back into the 8mm. And go through the 8/0, back down the 8mm, and eventually this is going to stand up. Don't worry about it if it doesn't right away. So, and now I'm actually going to go into the 8/0 at the bottom. Basically what I'm trying to do is get the thread to be secure and not come undone. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen my stop bead, and I'm going to take the two ends and tie a knot. So just a simple square knot should do it. And now I'm going to go back through the big old 8mm here. And you've done this nice and tight. The 8/0 is going to block the block your needle from getting in. So just give it a little wiggle, and it'll go through. But this will also help secure the knot inside the 8mm bead. Okay, so now just all you need to do is go through the 8/0. So you're gonna, for the next step, you're gonna pick up 4 11s, an 8, and then 4 11s again. And just go into the 8 on the opposite side. And this is what you should get. You get a little loop on one side. And then we're gonna repeat on the other side. So again, 4 11s, an 8, and 4 11s, and then go through the 8. So you should have a ring around our 8mm bead now. So for the next part, what you're going to do is now pick up 3 11s and go back through the 8. And then continue through the 11s and come out of the next 8 right here. So if this feels loose, don't worry, we're tightening it up as we go. And then once again, pick up 3 11s and just go back around the 8. Just like so. And continue into the next 8. So I'm going to go through these 11s and I want to come out of that 8. And once again, you are going to pick up 4 11s. Go back around the 8-0. I'm sorry, not 4. 3. 3 11s. Go back around the 8-0. So this is what you have, and then we are going to go and finish this off with the last 8-0 right here. And one more time, pick up 3, not 4, 3 11s and go back around the 8-0. And this is what you should have. So now I'm going to go ahead and go through all 4 of these 11s and the 8. And then I'm going to come out of the middle 11 here in the group of 3 that we added around the 8-0s. And so what you're going to do is we are going to connect each of these little pieces together. Pick up 3 11s, and you're going to go into the next, you're going to go into the 11 that is popping out here, over here, that should be sitting on top of the 8-0. And you're just going to go through that, and that should bring our little miniature loops together. And we're just going to repeat this. So pick up 3 11s once again, and just go into this 11 here at the very top. And repeat. So 3 11s into this one here. And one more time. 3 11s, and you want to make sure you're going into the bead where the other set of beads are coming out. So this is where we started. Give that a nice tug, and that should bring it all together. So this is what you're going to get. And then I'm just going to go back through all the beads one more time to get this to reinforce. Okay, so I've gone through all the beads. Now what you want to do is you should be coming out of one of these beads here that's part of this, over one of the 8 O's. So you actually want to come out of this bead here on the side. And now pick up one of your bicones and go over here to the bead that is on this side and go straight up. So if you went straight up this way, you want to go straight up through the one that's basically directly across. And that helps your bicone sit right there in between the space. And then we're going to do it again. So go through the 8 O and this next bead that is now on the other side of the 8 O. Pick up another bicone. Let me bring these over here. And this time I'm going down. So over here when I go across, I'm going to go down. And then this time, instead of going through the 8 O, you're going to the 11 because that's the path we're in. And then up into this 11. And once again, pick up your bicone and go up. And this time, through the 8 O, just the 8. And then down to the 11 here. Pick up a bicone and we're going to go up. So at this point, you should have bicones at basically kind of on every corner here of your piece. And I'm going to cut this tail thread because it's really just getting in the way and it's very annoying. Okay. All right, so I've added this last bicone right here. I'm coming out of that 11 here, and so now I'm just going to go up into the 8 O, and then I want to continue over. So I can't come out of this bicone because, as you can see, the thread is actually going in the wrong direction. So I'm actually going to go around towards the next bicone. So I'm going to go through these 11s. Then through this 8 O. And down this 11 and then into the bicone. And that allows me to stay within the thread. Not a huge deal, I'm just being a stickler for being a purist to the thread path. Now pick up an 11, a bicone, and an 11, and you're going to go into the next bicone. So, oops, I dropped it. There you are. And then repeat 11, bicone, 11, and then just the bicone. Then 11, bicone, 11, and straight into the bicone. And last time. So 11, bicone, 11, and into the bicone here, and continue through the 11 and go through this bicone here. You want to give everything a nice tug. So here is the component. See how the bicones sit nice around it? And also here's the back of it. Looks really nice and neat, I think. Okay, so now to create the ring band, this should be really simple. I'm going to pick up 6 11s. Double check that. Yes, 6 is correct. And you're going to go back around the bicone. So make sure it's a bicone that is sitting at any of the, sitting sort of underneath the 8 O's. So that gives it just a nicer look, I think, if you're coming out of that bicone as opposed to one of these down here. Although if you wanted a square look to your ring, then you can do it that way. But I kind of like the diamond shape, sort of creates this diamond type shape. So go back around that bicone, just like so. And we're going to go through them one more time just to secure it better. So I'm going to go ahead and reinforce all of this, going through just the beads, and then through the bicone, now to build my ring band, I'm going to go through the first 3 11s, and then I'm going to pick up 2 and go into the next 11. Just like this, and they might not pop into place, but then what you're going to do is go across. So we're doing herringbone, so you want to just go across and go up just the last 2 here in this group. And then we're going to build from there. So now you just keep going and you're just going to repeat and build the herringbone pattern. So again, pick up 2, go down 1, then you go across and you're actually going to go up 2. So let me show you that one more time. Pick up 2, go down the 1, go across, and you're going to go up 2. So you want to give this a good tug, make it nice and tight, and you just want to keep building until you get to the length that you need for your ring. So I'm just going to keep going and show you how to connect on the other side. Okay, so I have got my ring band to the length that I need. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring it over to the other bicone here on the opposite. And I'm going to pick up 2 11s. So basically we just got to connect it to the bicone here. So note where I'm coming out of one of the 11s, and just depending on which side your thread is coming out, you just want to go in from that side. So since my thread is coming up from this side, I'm going in from the left and go straight into the bicone. And then pick up 2 more of the 11s. And actually, you want to just come down the first 11 here and just bring everything close together. So I'm still keeping it a little loose, but that's okay. So you're just going to go across and go up into the 11s. So I went up 3 because of the 2 that we added. And go ahead and tighten everything. Then back down the bicone, or through the bicone. And then through these 3 here. And that's it. This stays around the bicone. I'm just going to go back up one more time to reinforce this. And then just come out of the bicone. And here's what you should have. So and what I'm going to do now is go around the beads, all the bicones and the seed beads one more time, since I've got plenty of extra thread, just to give that extra security, just reinforcement. You could have done this earlier before making the ring band and then starting the ring band, so it doesn't really matter which way you do that. But this brings everything close together, and you can start tying half-inch knots. So I'm just going to tie one as I go here, tie about 2 or 3. So this time it's between the bicone and the 11, and went through the bicone and the 11 there, and I'm going to do another one here between this next 11 and bicone. There we go. And let's see. I'm going to go through this next bicone and 11 and tie the last one over here. So this should feel very solid now, and we've gone through it a few times and also made knots. I'm just going to trim the thread. And we're done. I'm going to go ahead and put this on my finger. And oops, there we go. I tend to like my rings a little bit loose so that they're easier to put on and take off. But there it is. Well, I hope you like that. If you like the tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the notifications so you know when I've got a new tutorial up. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good night.